YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit you with a video. Now this video right here is about why are there so many single women, white and black, all kind of races of people. But we talking about why are there so many single women in America. Now I can't go all across the world because I haven't been all over the world, even though I have been some places, if you will. But this got me really thinking, like, because I'll be hearing from women, they be like, well, Trey, what can I find love at? Where are all the good men at? Is there any good men where you at? Do you have some friends like you? No, there's only one me, but I know a couple guys that are very good, wholesome guys, if you will. But people have all kinds of theories and excuses of why women are so single and why it's so hard for them to get a good man. And I tell them like this: it depends on your situation, and it just depends on, number one, your location, where you're at, what you're looking for also. But you have to understand something. A lot of women have messed over a lot of men, and especially if you're in one of these little towns where word get around easily. You know how these little towns, everybody know each other, these cities or whatnot. I ain't talking about no huge cities. I'm talking about the little smaller cities where everybody know who's screwing who's with who went to jail, everything. Mom and daddy go to church with their mom and dad, that type of time where everybody talk each other business. But you know, if you in one of these little places where you done been passed around and you done had sex with the guy at the liquor store, you done had sex with the guy that work at the mill, you done had sex with the guy that work at the car lot, you have to understand, men talk. Women talk too also, but men talk just like women, even though they don't normally do it in the same process that a woman would do it, but men still talk like, you know, such and such, I'm finna go kick it with it. It might be a guy. Like, who you just said? You said, Shaniqua. You like, Shanika that work at the bank? You like, yeah, how you know her? Like, man. And then when you hear that man right there, that long drunk, that drugged out man, that means there's some bullshit with it. And that right there is a huge turn off also. And one thing that a real man do not want, he do not want to put his how can I use it as a metaphor? He do not want to put his foot in the same shoe that 50 to 100 other guys don't wear. Because one thing about that shoe, it's going to lose its elastic, if you know what I mean. It's gonna stretch out. Not saying that women are gonna be woe out or anything like that, but at the same time, some of them do. Let's keep it real. You know that if it don't fit no more, like Johnny Cochran said, you gotta quit. If the glove don't fit, you gotta quit. And don't nobody want a lot of car. You know, not a lot of car. Don't nobody want to go to a car lot and get a car with 1,000,000 miles on it. Would you? Would you want a man that done slept with everybody in the same city? Would you want a man that slept with your cousins, your nieces? It depends on how old you are or whatnot. You know, you're gonna want somebody who ain't been passed around that much. You know, it's just like you sitting in a damn theater and you smoking on this big old blunt. It's okay maybe if a couple people hit it, but you ain't gonna want it if 200 or 300 people don't hit it, right? Of course not. So what women have to understand, they have to stop putting these stipulations on men. You have to play your role. Number one, you have to play your position. If a man wants you as a friend, be his friend. And the same thing with fellas. You see what I'm saying? And this is really more harder for the guys to figure out than the women, you know, because a lot of guys tend to overstep their boundary just like a lot of women do also. Just like the story I told you of my ex with her fake ass friend who came to my house trying to entice me, trying to set your boy up. Yeah, she tried to set the king up. I wouldn't fall for it though. You know what I'm saying? I was in there shaking and praying at the same time, like, Lord, give me the strength. Give me the strength. Bound this devil. But anyway, you know, so you have to be careful of the type of people you hang around with, and especially you ladies, you telling your friends to it. And guess what these women do? That same guy that you like, they'll creep right back to where he at, or if they see him somewhere, and tell him everything about you. Because if they don't heard all these good things about him, guess what they want? They want him too. You know, shit. The pickings, the pickings are slim out here. I don't know if you done been out here on the market lately, but the pickings are very slim, and everybody trying to take anything that they can grab and hold on to. But it's just like going to a shopping bin at Walmart with a bunch of old DVDs. You know, true, it's DVDs in there, but they worth it for you to pick up because a lot of them done been passed around. A lot of them you go right home and catch on TV right now. You don't have to even pay a fee. You know, and the same with these females, the same with these women. You know, a lot of them done been passed around, and these are just the bottom of the barrels that's left. Not saying that's all of them that's left, because you have a few good ones in there, just like in the bottom of that barrel and the bin in Walmart just told you about. You might find a good movie or two, you know, and it be rare if you do, but you can find it if you look hard enough. Because people have to understand one thing, that a person, as you get older, you're going to want peace in your life. You're not going to want to play these games like you played when you was younger. And if you are a person who's over 30 years old and still playing games, far as relationships and stuff, this cheating stuff. Why live with a person if you're gonna cheat? Just be by yourself. You know, what sense does it make to be with a person if you're gonna cheat? But a lot of people do this. They don't barely work. They don't got no drive. Because if you got time to cheat and go lay up with all these different people, whether it's man or a woman, how can you stay focused on business? How can you start a business? How can you build a brand if you constantly passing yourself around? Because you never take a time out to meditate and think on what it is that you need to work on and develop. If you constantly being a whore, pretty much, whether you're a male or a female, and men can be whores just like women can be whores. But you have to understand one of the main reasons, because once you put yourself in a person's life and you come into their life, and you got to decide the role you want to play. See, we all have a role that we play, whether you're a YouTuber or whether you're just anybody in life. You go to a bank, you can either be the janitor, or you could be the teller, or you could be the secretary, or you could be the president of the bank. Now you go to YouTube, you could be one of these clowns who jump around and think everything funny, or you could be one of these guys who bash women and bash men and bash homosexuals, or you could be one of these racist people who just hate every damn body. Then the moment they talking about shutting you down, you want to cry out for help. Or you could be a neutral person who just tell it how you see it, where you don't pick no sides. So we all have different roles we can play. And the same with these relationships. You know, you don't have to go out there and get the guy with the Mercedes. You don't have to go out there and get the guy with the nice house, the lawyer or whatnot, because don't you know it's a lot of people chasing that same guy. It's a lot of people chasing the same guy, and the same thing that go for fellas. What you think guys do when they see a beautiful woman? They all want her. What you think when what women do when they see a nice looking handsome man? They all want him. You know, so find your niche, your spot in this world. And also, when love come your way, stop trying to run from it. Stop trying to hide from it. Embrace it. I'm talking to the women now. Embrace it, because you never know. Your knight in shining armor is not gonna pull up like Prince Arthur, if you will, excuse me, jump off a big old nad, like Samuel L. Jackson said on Django, looking like he fresh out of middle of England, some damn where over there on a damn horse with a knight in shining armor with a helmet on, walking up to you, taking his helmet off with a big old sword in his hand. We're gonna just say the sword, his name is Excalibur. You know, you're not gonna get that. You know, and if you do, let me know where that guy is right there, because we're gonna see if he got some more family members that's coming correct like him. You know, some aunties or sisters or somebody, if you will, because if he's coming like that, you know. But at the same time, people have to understand that if you want a real man and you want a real woman, take time out to look at yourself first. See where you stand in life. Because a lot of times we think we want something, then when we get it, they ain't what we really want. Because you have to be careful, because what you think about is going to manifest the most. If you think about being rich, guess what? You're going to eventually get rich. If you're thinking about finding true love one day, guess what? It's going to come your way, because whatever you put out into the universe, it does what? It automatically come back. And a lot of people do not understand that. That's why you have to be careful of what? How you treat people. Treat people with the utmost respect and kindness until you can't. Then once you can't, you try. But at least give them that benefit of the doubt first, because everything you put out will come back. So if you put out negative vibes into the world, or if you done been passed around from one side of your town to the next, you can't get mad when all that come back to you and you sitting in your house 50 years old, 60 years old, rocking back and forth in your chair alone. Because don't nobody want you, because you thought you was the shit in school. This goes for men and women now. You thought you was the shit in school, could nobody tell you nothing. And all the guys that you that came to you that you consider nerds or squares or lame, they wasn't thug enough. Them guys right now over banks, them guys right now over car lots, them guys right now got restaurants doing something with themselves. And the ones that you thought was all that, the ones skipping school and stuff, being all hip and stuff, you know how it goes. We all go through that little phase, young and naive, you know. They right now struggling, doing bad somewhere on the back of a garbage truck, or somewhere stuck at one of these fast food jobs and can't find a way out. You know, and no offense to anybody who works on a dumb truck. You got to work. I'm just making a point. You know, and no offense to anybody who working fast food. Hell, I did it when I was 18 for like 8 months. You know, you got to do what you got to do. But at the same time, if you can do better, do better. And when you know better, you're supposed to do better. So women, stop trying to say there's no good men out here. There are good men out here. But the point is, what have you done in your life? Are you worthy enough for a good man? And I don't know why a lot of females think that the man's supposed to come to the table with everything. You know, who cares if you got your own house? how many kids you have, and how many baby daddies you got. It's the truth. A lot of people get mad when you talk like that. Not saying that you shouldn't love your kids. It don't have nothing to do with what you love. Remember that, because when you talk to people, they feel like you criticizing them. I am not criticizing nobody. If you have 4 baby daddies, that's on you. That's your ass. Whether a guy have 5, 6 baby mamas, that's on him. That's his ass. But guess what? When you go try to get somebody and find somebody to be with, they're gonna look at that just the same way you would. Look, how many miles on it? When you go in a house, do you want a house that's tore up, used all up, or do you want to go in a house and it's redid? Because we all done had sex with other people, unless you some virgin, and I doubt if there's a lot of virgins out there, because if it is, we need to holler at you, because you might know where that pot of gold at. That's like finding a leprechaun. But at the same time, there are good men out here, and there are people looking for love, and there are people looking for sincere people to be with. But at the same time, you have to rise to the level of where that person is. Just because you have a vagina doesn't mean that you're special. Just because you have a penis don't mean every woman's going to love you. You see what I'm saying? Because you can have the best sex in the world and get cheated on, and you can have the best cook in the world and still get dogged out, beat up, and cheated on. See what I'm saying? So you have to find something that you know is compatible with you. Because if you're at a certain age and you're not seasoned enough to understand who is good for you and who's not good for you, you're going to forever play the fool. You're going to forever have to look to somebody else for advice, and that's something that I'm glad that I never really did in my life. I might talk to older guys. I always talk to older people, no younger people, because I'm like, a young person can't tell me nothing. You might can tell me what time it is, before it's some wisdom. No, I talk to the older people, and to the above. But, you have to be careful who you listen to, because some people might tell you some stuff. Oh, girl, he ain't no good for you, and they secretly want him, or they know something on him and they won't tell you. Or you go to your homeboys, man, she ain't no good, man. She got a baby by little Kevin and stuff. Little Kevin, the one that killed them guys. It's all kinds of stuff going on. You don't never really know, and that might turn them out like, man, I don't want them problems. Especially with Kevin crazy ass. So you have to be careful who you tell your business to, and I tell people that all the time. Keep your business to yourself. You see what I'm saying? Because the only way a devil can get in and take over, if you let him in, you got to open the door just like a vampire. You got to open the door. You got to let them in that way. And if you don't let them in, they can't get in. You have a beautiful life, a wonderful relationship. It's simple as that. Because people made life harder than what it really is. True, it's already hard getting up, but it's just like a snowball. That snowball, you can put that little snowball on top of a mountain. Guess what? It's going to start off real small. And the same thing in a relationship. When you come in there, you getting to know each other. You getting into the flow. You getting into the rhythm. But guess what? Once you get into your rhythm, that ball grows bigger and bigger. The ball is just a metaphor for love, for compassion, and understanding you have for each other. And by the time that ball reach halfway, it's massive. In the same way, with couples, by the time you get 5 or 10 years, it's like, you can say something, the other one will finish your sentence. It's like you could be thinking something, the other person laugh, like you can start reading each other's mind. And then, once you be together so long, people say you start looking like each other, which I believe is true also. I don't understand that concept yet. Maybe I can study deeper into the metaphysics on that one. But I have seen couples that been around each other. You're like, man, y'all sisters and brothers? But anyway, and by the time that snowball get to the bottom of the hill, which is 20, 30 years in the game, y'all good. You got everything you want in life. You don't have no urge to cheat on each other. You just have an urge to please each other and just live your life and be happy. Then therefore, you can turn around and help other people. That's what it should be about. And that right there is a good relationship, if you ask me. That's the kind of love and relationship that I would like to have. That way, me and my queen, we can talk to other people and try to get them on the right track and try to tell them everything that shine ain't gold. And believe me, you will know love when you see it. You will know who your knight in shining armor is, and men, you will know who your wife is when she comes, because there's something going to hit you. You're not going to get that person off your mind. You can be like, man, there's something about this person. That's love right there. And it's sad that you have this platform like YouTube, and barely a lot of people talk about things like that. And that's why Know the Ledge show is special to me, because it's everyday talk, and it's just anything we can talk about. It's nothing that we should not be able to talk about, and if it is, that right there within itself is a problem. So stop saying there's no good men out here, and guys, stop saying that in this day and age why people are getting married. You're marrying the wrong people, because you can marry somebody and she won't even take a dime from you. You see what I'm saying? You got women like that. Or ladies, you can marry a guy and he won't take a dime from you. Oh, I'm a doctor and he just works at a used car lot. You know, and if you think that you better than somebody in this relationship the whole time, maybe that's why you're alone and single right now, or it's hard for you to find love. Because how can you be with someone and think inside your heart that you're better than that person? Do that make any sense? That's not love right there. And that's what this world is lacking: love, compassion, sympathy, and respect. If you can get that relationship, you found your place of heaven right here on earth. If you can find that, and there is a such thing. You're never gonna be perfect in life. You're never gonna have the utmost peace. You're always gonna have problems. But guess what? You can either make it easier for yourself or you can make it harder. You can either walk this road of life alone or you can walk it with somebody else. The choice is yours. But trust me, one day you're gonna need somebody to lift you up. If you plan to live, guess what? You plan to get old. Unless you just gonna kill yourself. You're gonna get old. In the same way you came in this world, the same way you're gonna leave. So think about that. Think about that. Also, you're gonna need somebody help. You're gonna need somebody to do what? Lean on. So stop cheating yourself. Stop sitting up here saying, forget marriage and all this. I'm not saying you have to be married. I'm not saying you have to go to somebody and ask for permission to have their hand in marriage. Only thing you need to do is just love each other, respect each other, and the rest will take care of itself. And I hope that reach some of you all, and I'll do a follow-up video about another a week or two on this right there, because you know my mind be going so many different ways, be busy doing this, be busy doing that, but I always got to take time to hit people with the truth and just my little wisdom I have, you know. And like I said, I'm a work in progress. I'm still growing, I'm still learning, but one thing I do know how to treat a woman. I do know that. Pops taught me that. And big shout out to him. Anyway, you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. If you like, subscribe. Till next time, stay blessed. Stop cheating yourself. Stop being stressed, because life is nothing but a test. I'm out.